Tonight, the Liberal NDP deal is dead as Jagmeet Singh terminates the supply and confidence agreement. New Chinese tariffs on Canadian canola have Saskatchewan producers concerned. Nurses who stayed behind in Sandy Bay say they got an apocalyptic look at the evacuated community.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Wednesday, September 4th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Good evening and thank you for watching. The federal New Democratic Party has ended its agreement to support the Liberals. Justin Trudeau's minority government has counted on the NDP to remain in power. The CBC's Ashley Burke looks at why leader Jagmeet Singh is pulling the plug now and what it could mean for election timing.
The Liberals are too weak, too selfish, and too beholden to corporate interests.
A new campaign-style video announcing a very public political breakup.
Today, I notified the Prime Minister that I've ripped up the supply and confidence agreement.
Through that agreement, the NDP propped up the Liberal government for almost 2.5 years in return for commitments on NDP priorities like dental and pharmacare. But Jagmeet Singh says the deal is dead.
The Liberals have let people down. They don't deserve another chance.
We want to send a clear message to Justin Trudeau.
Last month, Singh joined locked-out rail workers on the picket line and slammed the government for intervening and forcing arbitration. The NDP said that issue is just one example why it scrapped the deal with Justin Trudeau.
I'm focused on Canadians. I'll let the other parties focus on politics.
Trudeau faced questions about what it all means and if it's time for an election.
An election will come in the coming year, hopefully not till next fall, because in the meantime, we're going to deliver for Canadians, and the contrast with a Conservative leader that wants to cut dental care, cut the school food program.
The Conservatives leader called the NDP's move a stunt and challenged Singh to vote with him.
So my message to sellout Singh is this. If you're serious about ending your costly carbon tax coalition with Trudeau, then commit today to voting for a carbon tax election.
The end of this deal doesn't trigger an automatic, immediate election. The Liberals can negotiate on a case-by-case basis with the NDP if they will support them on votes, or also turn to other parties to try and keep themselves in power. No matter what, there has to be an election by next fall, and now that could happen even sooner. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
The leader of the Provincial NDP says she is pleased with Singh's announcement. Carla Beck says she told the federal leader to end the party's agreement with the Liberals.
My first reaction was about time. That reaction I don't think will come as a surprise to anyone, and certainly not to Jagmeet Singh, who I've been having this conversation with him for 2 years since I've been leader. In terms of timing, I didn't control that. I didn't control them entering into the agreement.
A spokesperson for the government of Saskatchewan said in a statement, Singh's decision was, quote, pretty meaningless unless the NDP planned to vote against the Liberals and force an election. As for Beck, she was in White City pledging to build a new high school if elected. The Minister of Education, though, says a new high school is not among the top priorities of the local school division. The Bank of Canada is providing more relief for some Canadians carrying debt. The central bank lowered its benchmark interest rate today to 4.25%.
With continued easing in broad inflationary pressures, Governing Council decided to reduce the policy interest rate by a further 25 basis points. Excess supply in the economy continues to put downward pressure on inflation, while price increases in shelter and some other services are holding inflation up.
The quarter-of-a-point cut could be welcome news for people with a variable mortgage or a line of credit, but savers could see less returns on their investments. Canada has followed the lead of the United States and the European Union and announced a 100% tariff on imports of Chinese electric vehicles. Now, China has retaliated on Canadian canola. And as Pratush Dayal reports, the move has producers in Saskatchewan worried.
It has not been an easy year for canola producers in Saskatchewan, and now another hurdle. China is planning to start an anti-dumping investigation into canola imports from Canada. It relates to the price of the sale of the seed overseas. It comes after Ottawa imposed tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles.
It just seems like the hits keep on coming right now, and every time you have those things happen, you don't return to normal quickly.
For producers, it has already been a stressful season, with hot weather, disease, and recently rail disruptions. Saskatchewan exported $2 billion worth of canola to China last year, its second largest market. This producer in Davidson says it's devastating.
The markets reacted very negatively to the news that our second largest market for canola oil, seed, and all of the products that come with canola basically is looking into anti-dumping investigations, which is absolute bunk. Like there's no basis in fact for that. And the fact that that can happen is absolutely enraging.
Stone is already worried of a lower yield. He says he believes China's move will bring decreasing canola prices even lower.
If you had a 40 bushel crop and you're expecting to sell it for $13 a bushel, and now probably look at $1.50 or $2 a bushel, the difference. That's $80, 60 to 80, maybe $100 an acre difference. It could translate to almost, 20% difference.
The provincial government has written to Ottawa. It pointed out similar action from China in 2018 and 2019 caused a $1 billion loss. Stone says it feels like history repeating itself.
I mean, it took until 2022 to really resolve that issue.
This is the third or fourth time that we've seen China attack canola. Why? Because they buy so much of it and because it's a benefit to them to see the price go down, right?
Analysts say China could turn to Australia and Ukraine for alternative supplies, potentially leaving more crop in the bin and uncertainty for Saskatchewan producers. Pratish Dayal, CBC News, Davidson.
Construction on Regina's Dewdney Avenue is ongoing, and business owners say they're starting to feel the impact. The construction is part of a 2-year revitalization project between Albert and Broad Streets, and the goal is to transform Dewdney into a main street and boost development. Work on the project started this April and was to take place through construction season this year and next. Since then, parts of Dewdney have been blocked off to drivers and pedestrians. Business owners say they're happy about the development, but have mixed emotions about the construction.
Yes, it is impacting us a little negatively for, I would say, sales aspects. We're down about 30 to 40% from our sales compared to last year. Parking isn't the greatest, but now that they opened a giant parking lot across the street from us, I try to tell all of our customers to park there.
Once this project is done, I hope everyone has the imagination to just see how great and impactful it's going to be for this entire area. It's going to be night and day, and once we're through that, people are going to realize, geez, this construction was totally worth it. It was worth, a month or two of maybe some tough sales.
As mentioned, the city has opened free parking in the area for anyone attempting to visit the Dewdney Strip, and there's also parking on nearby side streets. The city sees the need to replace aging underground infrastructure as an opportunity to revitalize the surface. That includes new roads, sidewalks, lighting, patio space, and landscaping. It's a $32 million project, and the city's timeline has construction complete by 2026. A huge wildfire continues to burn near Sandy Bay in northern Saskatchewan. Most of the community was evacuated weeks ago, but those who are staying behind are giving us a look around on the ground. Dane Patterson has more.
This video was recorded by one of the few people still inside the evacuated community of Sandy Bay in northern Saskatchewan. With wildfires nearby, most of the 1,800 residents had to leave 3 weeks ago, but primary care nurses Todd Brown and Dre Irwin remain in case anyone needs medical help.
It's very quiet, eerie, especially when they did a backburn a few days ago. It's surreal, and as a photographer, I had to go out and take some pictures and videos of it.
There are only about 120 people left in the community, with several dozen firefighters camping in tents.
A lot of times they do backburns and so forth, and that puts a lot of smoke in the air, and it'll look like apocalypse kind of looking landscape at times. Like you can't see across the water.
The Flanagan Fire is about 2.5 kilometers away from the community. It has grown to about 449 square kilometers in size, about twice the size of the province's largest city, Saskatoon. The nurses aren't busy, but the uncertainty is stressful.
It could be 3 a.m. if the fire got out of control, that we'd be told, like, it's time to go.
In the early days of the fire, community leaders criticized the government for not fighting the fire more aggressively. Now, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says 117 firefighters are working on the Flanagan Fire, plus aerial support. Both Irwin and Brown praised the firefighters for protecting the community.
I trust that they know what they're doing. So for us, we're just, kind of sitting back and just kind of holding the fort down until everybody gets back, until the town's safe again.
Dane Patterson, CBC News, Saskatoon.
Most kids are back in school across Saskatchewan, but a grade 5 student at Buena Vista School in Saskatoon has been told he can only attend morning classes. Hugo Stevenson has to go home at lunchtime because of a shortage of educational assistants.
We got a phone call from the principal that he regretfully had to inform us that they were struggling to access appropriate resources, and that Hugo would be on half days until further notice, and they were working as fast as they can to remedy the situation.
How was your day? It was good. Okay. Did you see Mrs. H?
We were so looking forward to it, and we'd been kind of building up his expectations, just really talking to him about the return to school, and you're going to see all these fantastic people again. And then just to have to tell him, buddy, it's only going to be till lunchtime for now. It kind of was hard, I would say. Hugo needs one-on-one support throughout the day, so he always has an EA with him. And they're able to provide right now support for the morning only. So we were super disappointed. In general, I want to emphasize that, like, from the principal to the EAs and everyone in between, the team at Buena Vista has been incredible. And as they have access to resources, they're very quick to meet his needs really well. And he had just an amazing year that last year. I think that's why it's so disappointing to get away.
It says you had a good day. Yeah.
Awesome. It's a matter, I think, of just having more children with intensive support needs than they have EAs able to support.
I would guess I must that.
I think there's a safety issue, and I know there have been some sort of historical incidents that have led schools to have the ability to say, we're not actually safe. Like, it's not just a matter of it's hard, it's unsafe. I respect that. One of my goals in sort of talking about this with you is just to advocate and to make visible the impact on families when resources aren't available that the divisions are saying they need.
In a statement, Saskatoon Public Schools says this is a temporary move until a comprehensive plan can be put in place. It says it's seeing a significant increase in students with complex medical and safety needs, and it doesn't receive enough funding to cover proper supports. The City of Saskatoon's second cart swap request intake is nearly over. Those who would like to request a smaller black garbage cart are reminded that the swap requests are open until the end of day Monday, September 9th. That is next Monday. Cart swaps will start September 16th and will correspond with your collection schedules. You can find more details at saskatoon.ca/cartswap. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Going into the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg this weekend, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are trying to break a 6-game winless streak, and they're also going to be down a few starters on the O-line. Center Peter Godber and guard Zach Fry both left the Labor Day Classic on Saturday with knee and elbow injuries. It's unlikely either will heal up quick enough to play in Winnipeg, and so, like much of this season for the Green and White, it's next man up. Melford's Logan Ferland will slide into center, and Langenberg's Noah Zaire will get his first CFL start, even though he's been in the league for 3 years.
It's huge, you know what I mean? It's my first opportunity to start in this league. It's with the hometown team. You know, it's the team I grew up cheering for and tried to go to every game with. And, you know, it's really exciting to be in that starting role finally.
When a new guy steps up, it's just all about consistency, being on the same page. I played with Pete for a while now, and I understand how he sees the game, and that's how the other guys see it because of that. So getting on the same page with him is the most important thing, and IDing everything the same way he would.
Once Yoshi went down, you know, Ferland also had to take on that leadership role as part of that room, and he's been tremendous, man. He's just such a great player to have on the roster. I'm extremely proud of him. I can't say enough good things about Logan Ferland.
As for the Blue Bombers, Zach Collaros was back and fully practicing in Winnipeg today. That despite a neck injury in the Labor Day Classic after taking a high hit from the Riders' Miles Brown. Linebacker Adam Bighill also went down in that game with a knee injury, and he did not practice today. Kickoff on Saturday in Winnipeg is at 1 o'clock.
The weather update is brought to you by Capital Ford Lincoln. Employee pricing is on now.
And our weather specialist Ethan Williams joins me now from Saskatoon, where it was a gorgeous day today.
It was beautiful. You know, we started kind of a little bit cloudier, Sam, but the sun has broken out here. And the other thing you'll notice, you know, this time yesterday, the smoke was really, really bad in the city here, but things have cleared out very nicely in terms of the smoke. In fact, as we take a look right now at the watch and warning map, you can see that the air quality advisories have not only come to an end in Saskatoon, but all of south and central Saskatchewan, just in effect there for eastern sections of the Churchill region. Now, that cloud cover also nicely clearing away from Saskatoon, but we are still seeing some lingering cloud and showers around Regina. We saw a few showers move through this afternoon. Still seeing a bit of that shower activity in southeastern Saskatchewan, and what that's doing, of course, is keeping temperatures on the chilly side. We've only managed to get into the teens today, some of us the mid-teens. In the sunshine, we did get closer to 20 degrees, including here in Saskatoon, but yes, that rain and that cloud cover definitely bringing those temperatures down. The system that was moving through with the bit of rain that we saw there also picking up the winds from time to time, especially into southeastern Saskatchewan, and again, those winds have generally been coming from that northwesterly direction, flushing that smoke out of south and central. Now, in terms of the forecast tonight, things will continue to clear, thankfully, maybe some lingering showers in eastern sections of the north. But as we get into tomorrow, things will stay pretty sunny. We have an area of high pressure that is starting to move in. Maybe a few pop-up showers and scattered storms in the Parkland region and into the southeast. But that moves out pretty quickly. And by the time we head into Friday, we're just looking at some high cloud cover in through northern Saskatchewan. As south and central stays pretty sunny. You can see there a bit of a system as we head into Saturday morning into Manitoba, but that is where that should stay for the most part. Still going to be a little bit of a breezy day tomorrow, especially throughout eastern sections of the province. Maybe gusts 30 to 40, so not quite as bad as we've seen today and yesterday. And then getting into Friday, that's when we start to see things pick up a little bit into northern Saskatchewan, 40 to 50, especially into the far north. Now, those winds going to start shifting a little bit. You saw there on the wind map, they start coming from the south. So that means the smoke leaves south and central Saskatchewan, but it's going to start moving back up well into the Churchill region and likely into the far north. So we will have to watch for advisories, which may be reissued for that part of the province. For tomorrow in Regina, going to be a pretty pleasant day, just above seasonal. But then look at those temperatures take off as we get into the weekend. For the foreseeable future, we're looking at 30-plus degree temperatures heading into next week. And again, those temperatures overnight, especially for both Regina and Saskatoon, indicate that we may actually see heat warnings issued for south and central. Saskatoon, again, another nice day tomorrow. That'll be the last one before things really start picking up once again. So we are encroaching on fall here, Sam, but summer really, really hanging on.
All right. Thanks, Ethan. Tonight, the Calgary Flames and Columbus Blue Jackets have organized candlelight vigils for Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Here's a look at the memorial created by the fans outside the Saddle Dome in Calgary. The event will also be live streamed tonight on the team's website for people who can't attend in person. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. 4 people are dead and at least 9 are injured after a high school shooting in Georgia. Police rushed to the scene and arrested a 14-year-old suspect as students sought refuge in a campus football stadium.
I have 2 children that go to Heyman Morris, which borders this school. And first thing was immediately calling the schools, then the text messages and stuff started coming through from the schools. Terror, absolute terror.
Some people got hurt while running for their lives. Hours after the shooting, students were sent home. There have been hundreds of mass shootings in the United States since 2006. These incidents have contributed to the ongoing debate about gun laws in the U.S. Russia launched a wave of attacks on the Ukrainian city of Lviv today. At least 7 people were killed, including a mother and her 3 daughters. The woman's husband survived and received first aid from paramedics. Emergency services say at least 53 people, including 7 children, were injured. This comes a day after one of the deadliest missile attacks since the war began in February of 2022. At least 50 people died and 271 were wounded when Russia struck a military institute in Poltava.
Well, in Regina tonight, we are likely still going to see a little bit of that forest fire smoke with temperatures around 10 degrees. That likely going to still be with us a bit tomorrow morning, albeit I think much lighter, and we'll see an improvement in our air quality. Those nice sunny skies sticking around. We'll get to the low 20s tomorrow. A little bit of a northwest breeze, though, but other than that, a pretty nice day. Up here in Saskatoon, looking at a temperature of about 12 degrees. Again, that smoke has mostly cleared out for us, so I think we're pretty much in the clear as we head into tomorrow, starting the day at about 10 degrees, and then into the afternoon, a temperature of around 19 again, probably low 20s for the Bridge City. And Sam, gorgeous evening here. I just heard the horn on the Prairie Lily a few minutes ago, so it'll be a good evening to get out on the water or take in those kind of nice September summer conditions that we're seeing, even though it's a little chillier here.
All right, thanks, Ethan. Safe travels home. And that's it for us tonight. For news anytime, you can head to cbc.ca/Sask. You can subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel or download the CBC News app. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.